Hello everyone, it's Mish here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, thanks for stopping by, and if you are returning, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Today's probably going to end up being a longer video. I am still working in my December journal, and I am doing Junk Journal January in the hopes of getting my Christmas journal finished before the end of January, as if it's not, that's kind of the stop point. So the Junk Journal January prompts, this challenge, I know there's probably other challenges out there. This one, the prompts are set by Meg Journals, and I will link her YouTube channel down below. And I'm not doing the daily prompts, as I just don't have time every day right now to kind of come on and do each day's prompts. So I'm kind of doing like a week of prompts all together. So they are going to blend in, and the ones that I'm going to concentrate on today are overlap, opaque, balance, neutral, unfold, fragile, and bright. The first pages I want to work in is this one here that we did. I'm not sure which day we actually did. We actually did the little, it was antique. So this would have been like the first part 1 that I did, and then I've done a part 2, and this is sort of the part 3. In doing this is really fragile. So when I actually put it together, I did reinforce the seams and I reinforced the bottom, because as I folded the paper, it had split. But I also want to do more with this. I have to, again, be careful because it is fragile, but I need to reinforce this lip here if I'm going to be putting things in and out, or that's just really going to rip because it's so fragile. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to just use a number of little washi tapes and just kind of secure that. I pulled some gold ones just to kind of go with I wanted something right on the edge there though that's going to be quite robust. Now the other thing I could do is just put some scotch, see it's cracking already, is put some scotch tape down there and then just build over top of that, because scotch tape is pretty durable. But we'll try this. I'm going to put this gold one. I think this gold one probably is as sturdy as some scotch tape. So let's just get this right along the edge. Before I do that, I just want to get a piece of scrap paper to go inside there so that I don't end up getting it on the book page itself, or I will never get it off without ripping it more so. Okay, so let's start on this side. I want to get it as close to the edge as possible. And this will allow me to use the pocket better. Excuse me if my head is getting in the way. Let's see. I'll go right to there. And that's going to cut some off. I'll have better control. Not exactly right on the lip, but that's fine. Okay. All right, so that's a good start. We got that right close to the edge. And then just want to layer. So this is where we get into overlap as well, because I'm going to overlap these just to create interest, and I like the effect. So I'm just going to, and the thing with the overlap is you got to try to keep it straight. And if you get off track in the beginning, it tends to carry through. And I'm just going to pull this a little bit towards me here so I can see what's going on. And how's everybody doing this week? been a good week. The weather here in Halifax has been great. We've had no snow. And it's actually supposed to, I just looked at the temperature and I think it's only -1 degree Celsius, which is a great temperature. We're supposed to get up to like 5 degrees, I think. My wish for, see, that's so fragile, but I just got to be careful with that. Okay, so I'm liking how that's looking. And I had considered just throwing in a little bit of color with this washi tape that just says Mary. And I kind of liked how that went. Now this goes from the other side. Let's see what it looks like. Now when this goes down, it's not opaque. So, and that's the second prompt that we're looking at today. So opaque means you can't see through it, for those of you who are wondering the difference between transparent, translucent, and opaque. So in transparent, it's like a window. You can see right through it. Translucent is more of what this is. You can kind of see hints of that. However, yeah. And then the gold one would be opaque. All right, so I'm going to start on the front and just using some overlap. Just sort of, I'm going to decorate this front thing. Now, I can't remember which DigiKit that I picked these up, but I kind of want it that way because I really love that clock. So I think I'll put this one down first. I am just going to use a little bit of runner tape. That way I'm not adding liquid, and I could use my glue stick for you could use your glue stick as well for this one. Now I want it to be balanced, and that's another of the prompts. And when something is balanced, it's pleasing the eye. It doesn't necessarily have to be equal. It just needs to look like it's not too clustered on one end as opposed to another end, that maybe your borders are relatively the same, your colors relate to each other, and it gives an overall balance. Here, you could say, well, that's not balanced, but the issue is that I want to keep adoration. I want to be able to see that. So the bit that I'm working with is actually this here, which then this is the palette that I'm looking at as far as being balanced. I do want to put this little up here, and I had another one here as well that just said a Merry Christmas to you. But I kind of like this. It says, may the joy thou lovest best stay with thee a welcome guest. And I think that could be said of the actual, Christmas Day of the arrival of Jesus. And he was the first most welcome guest. But it also relates to our friends and family. And I was going to put there, but to me, that's not balanced. That just looks odd. I did do some fussy cutting, and I wanted to put a couple things just to adorn this, but it needs to be in the right color palette. Otherwise, that's not going to be balanced. So we've got, at least in my eye, got this whiteness and then this sort of antiqued finish. With the poinsettia, it doesn't really matter. So something else to go up there. And I had fussy cut a few things, but we can come back to the front page. Oh, here it is. I have this little bird that says joy, and then I have a poinsettia. So if we do that, does that allow balance? I think it does if we do it this way. Maybe like right around there. I think that balances the page. And that's what I'm going to do. Now with this one here, I do need to add a little bit of glue. and I'm just not going to leave any heavy ridges. This is only a little piece of paper, so I think it'll stick fine with just a little bit of glue. So we have our joy, and then we have our Christmas flower, the poinsettia. And I think, pull that down. I'm trying to get equal spacing top and bottom to make that look like it's balanced. All right, so I'm happy with that. And then on the inside, I do want to add the little tag that Valentina had sent me. Thanks so much, Valentina. And I am going to write on the back about you guys, about how, you know, you do bring happiness in my life, and not just with the happy mail, your comments, but it's just, I really cherish all that you guys do. So thank you, Valentina, for that. I have already gone ahead and I had a couple of these little snowmen, and I wanted to put a little writing spot. I did take some Scotch tape just so you wouldn't see it. I didn't want something, again, going back to opaque, I didn't want like an opaque or even a translucent washi tape there that would distract from my image. So I just used a little bit of Scotch tape, and I am just going to get that down, and I'll try to make sure that, and the backing here is just a piece of a DigiKit that I used to set up my journal, and I have some pieces, some spare pieces in my stash. I'm going to try to balance this and look at I want this edges there to be equal so that it gives it a balance, as well as I'm not too worried about the bottom. I'm just worried more about there because I want it towards the top. So then when I open that, I have a little flip spot and I have a little journal card. And I did the same with this little guy. All right. And so I want to get him down in a way that it's going to go along with the whole layout of the balance of the layout. And if you're not really sure, you can always turn it around if you've put your adhesive on and just kind of eyeball how that would go. And I'm thinking, kind of thinking that I like it kind of here. And with this fragile paper, once it's down, it's down. Like so. Kind of want them, they're the same. If they weren't the same height, I'd be looking here to center it on this edge as well, but they're the same height, so I'm just going to put it about here. Like so. Okay. And I'm happy with that. So I have my two little flips that I can write on and a little space for my tag. I'm not going to put too much in this pocket because it is fragile. And for here, I wanted to use a bunch of these little bits you can see all up here. I have so much little bits of stuff, and my kind of goal for next Christmas is to use what I have. I'm a collector of things, and I've got to use what I have. And these came from a DigiKit as well. Now I think this one was my Porch Prince, and I'm kind of thinking this might have been too, but I'm not sure. And then these little stamps are from my Porch Prince as well. And I thought I would make just a little tuck spot. And if you only have bits and pieces and you want to make a pocket, then you can just use overlay to create a little cluster, which then can extend your pocket. For this one here, I'm kind of liking this little cluster. And even though there's different sizes of things, those two are different sizes, it does look balanced, at least in my eye. The first one I want to get down is just, and you only want to put the glue on the bit that's actually going to be, and that's not the bit's at the top. See, you only want to put glue where papers are going to touch, which is in this case right here. All right, so I'm happy about this much. And then sticking that down. Sun is shining. I've actually put the air exchange on today just to try to change the air in the house. I don't keep it on all the time. Probably should, but I don't. Largely because then it brings the cold air in from outside and it's just too cold. Or else I got to turn the heat up higher. Okay, so I'm kind of thinking something like that or like that. No. I want to overlap the edges, so I don't want anything to be flush with anything. So what about like that? Not really sure. I think that should come down some. I think this should be down here. Like so. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then on this side, I kind of want to match the height with this. And like so. That's about that high. Probably like about that, okay. And then get this little guy down. And thinking right about there for that guy. Okay, so now we've got our two little clusters, and then I just want to put those right there, and then it'll be like a little tuck spot. So I only want to put glue. Actually, I don't even, I could put glue there, but I'm not going to. I only want to put glue sort of here, along the bottom, and up the side there. And then I'm going to center it as best I can. Right there. Okay, and then I'm just going to let that dry, and I'm going to do the same on this side. Just going to put some glue along the one edge, along the bottom, and about the same on that side. And then try to get those so they look balanced. Like so. Like so. So I think that does look balanced. And then we have our writing spots. We have a little place that we can put our tag. Thanks again, Valentina. And then we just have a little tuck spot. And these, I don't think I printed these, but I think I got something from Temu or something a long time ago. And it was on very, very thin. This is like as thin as photocopy paper. It's very, very thin. So I'm not adding any weight. But I also can write a little something on the back if I want. Right, so there's our, we've used the opaqueness of the cards. They're not translucent or transparent. We've used overlap and balance, and this is fragile. So I think those are some of the things for the prompts. The other layout I want to work on is the birthday one for M. In December, on the 14th, was M's birthday. And I have a couple things. I've already put the girls doing their little puzzles. I did a bunch of word search puzzles. So I'll write a little note about the girls there. And this had come in the mail. It was the first mail that I had received once the strike was over in December, that they had sent from a motel they'd stayed at for the night. But I do want to do a couple journal cards. I had this little piece of one of the puzzles that we did, and I actually I had this piece of cardboard that I had this magnetic, those magnetic photo things. And I just used the cardboard to back that, because this was just on copy paper. And I wanted to use this bingo card. So I thought, for this here, I'm just going to use some of my stickers that I got the seasonal sticker book from Happy Planner. I hadn't had a Happy Planner book for a while, but they have the seasonal one. So I thought that I would use some of their translucent stickers, these ones here, just to do some overlap collage on the cards. Now, if I wanted to make this sticker opaque, and sometimes that's the way that we like them because they don't show up on a busy background, then, and I'm sure you guys all know this, you would just take your opaque sticker and put it onto a piece of copy paper like so, and then just cut it out, and that makes it opaque, and therefore it will show up on anything. And I might actually do that on here, but for now I just want to just take this bingo card, and I felt this was a Christmas bingo card because it has the 25th, so Christmas Day is on here, and I do have a card too, it must be in my stash, that has like the 24th and the and there's the 26th, Boxing Day. I have one that has the 24th, 25th, and 26th, but I obviously didn't pick it up. Now, I want to make this kind of a birthday thing too, because it was actually her birthday party and not Christmas. And there, I was going to use this one here. The girls actually gave me this, gosh, I think it was one of the very first sticker books they gave me. And I want to use some of the stickers too to kind of, you know, have that in my book. And kind of like the little banners, but I also like the Hooray Let's Party and oh, the happy birthday. And I might cut bits of this video out, so if it seems like it's a little bit choppy, it's probably because I've cut out just waffling through and looking for stuff. Kind of like this. Oh, it's a frame. Oh, that would be good. We could highlight. We could highlight something like. Too bad there wasn't. Oh, there's Mary there. Too bad I didn't have love in here or family. Oh, I do have family. See, I've also cut bits of it off too. And I can't see if there's family here. I think it might be on the bit that I cut off, but, oh, I know. I'm going to put it over here so that I highlight family and friends. It does highlight gifts, and it's not about gifts. It's about being with the people that you love. And then I'm just going to overlap the sticker on there. Happy birthday. And then we have that kind of highlighted there. Oh, look, I got Scrooge here. And then I like this birthday girl. And I'm thinking that I'm going to put this actually on here. Down by Chester. And I'm going to overlap it. Oh, he heard his name. Hi, Chester. You're in my picture. There's Chester there. Like, he's never far away. Ever. If we're doing stuff in the kitchen, he's right there. Okay, so this is going to be sticking up like that. Or actually, it's going to be over here. Like so. So I really want the top bit too. So that's going to, oops, sorry, you guys can't see. It's going to kind of stick out that way. So I'm okay with that. So happy birthday. Because I want to put the bingo card, I think. Or the bingo card could go there. And that could go there. But again, we're looking at balance. What looks more balanced? I think that looks more balanced. Like that. Yeah. Okay. Now let's just fill in a few things down below there. And we could always do some washi tape across there. Or just layer up a couple panels. I don't think there's any panels in here. This is mainly stickers, but I could just use a little bit of this washi strip. And let's party. Happy birthday. I can use a little bit of this kind of here and cut it off here so it makes like a little bit of a shelf. Put that back. And then we can put like birthday cake or something on it. And then I'll have our birthday cake. We had the biscotti birthday cake from Costco. I thought it was lush. It was good. Okay, and then in keeping with sort of the colors of the season, let's put this cake on here. And I'll write a little bit about the birthday cake on the back, and then let's just put some prezzies kind of here in the corner. Okay, so then just made a little card, and then I'll use the back to journal a little bit about that. And then for the bingo card, there wasn't any transparent, translucent ones in the birthday book. So I'm just going to go with a few things. Now, my birthday's in December as well, and I don't mind at all that it's like a Christmas theme. Some people whose birthdays are in December, they'd rather just not have a December Christmas kind of themed birthday, but it never bothered me. So with that one there, I can kind of see through to the back. And I don't really need to tart this up a lot, but I just want to put a little something up there. Let's just put a little mug of cocoa. Cocoa is always good this time of year. And then on the back, just a little journal. I can continue to write a little bit about the day. And if I want to do an opaque sticker, just something, I can just, something maybe I could write over. And this I could write over that. Or I could add another little photo or something, or decorate it even further. Okay, so I'm just going to put that in there, and I'm going to do some writing. So that's that page. And I was talking to my father this morning about, oh, I want to decorate that page too, about this picture here that we talked about before. And I had already journaled about that picture, but I emailed him it this morning and just said, do you remember this picture? And we had a little discussion, and I just wrote down some of the things, you know, what the house it was and stuff. And so I did add to that. So I still want to stick to the prompts though. We've talked about sort of overlap. You can use overlap a lot in collage and opaque. You can also use acrylic paints to get an opaque effect. Chester has all kinds of birds outside the window. I think he's like the bird whisperer. There's a phone line, and they're all lined up. So we've got the little, I don't even know what kind of birds they are. But then there's seagulls, and must be going to be a storm. It's going to rain. Anyways, he's in the window looking at all that. And we've talked about balance. So neutral, unfold. We talked about fragile, neutral, bright. Maybe I'll go away, I'll have a think, and I'll come back with some ideas for those prompts. Okay, for neutral, unfold, and bright, I thought this project might take those 3 prompts and highlight them in a way. I have this piece of wrapping paper that one of the gifts the girls had given me, and it is neutral. This is a good example of how you can just take some brown paper. Now this was already pre-printed, but you can just take brown paper and stamp onto it yourself. Now, I am going to be showing some Happy Mail at the end, but part of my Happy Mail from Joy Bells had the similar idea, this came all the way from Australia, of just taking a neutral brown paper and having a nice print on the other side. You can doodle on the other side. You know, the ideas are endless of what you can do with just a neutral brown paper and make it bright and cheery. For this project, I have taken that paper, okay, and I tried to find the best part of it. Now, you wouldn't need to have this square would be, you'd need for this about 10.5 by 10.5. But if you didn't have that, you only had, say, this paper, then that's fine. I use a compass, you could use a bowl. You would just try to find the center and then make your half circle. Basically what we want is a half a circle. The project I'm going to make is a folded Christmas tree. For this project, we are going to take this half circle, and then you're going to take one end and just kind of line it up as best as you can along the bottom there. My circle, I didn't cut it out exactly straight. And by doing that, your other side should match that, which it pretty much does. This one here is just a little bit of an overlap there, but that's fine. Okay, so then we're going to get this sort of Christmas tree, well, cone shape. And then what we're going to do is just fold back our little flaps here. And I wasn't exactly sure which side I want it showing. Okay, and then we're going to fold back this flap like so. And they should meet in the middle like so. And then we're going to cut our little branches off of here. Now I could have the neutral side showing, or I could have a bit of the ho-ho-ho. And I think I'm going to turn it around and do it the opposite way, because I want a little bit of this ho-ho-ho. And then we're going to brighten it up a little bit. So we're going to go to the bright prompt. Now you can brighten things up with glitter. You know, I'm a glitter bling fan. And then I'm always kind of rubbish at doing Christmas tree branches this way. But basically we would come down. You'd want to come up from the bottom and kind of go up a bit like this, and then down, and then I guess like this, and then you have your little branch like that, and you have your little branch like that, something like that. Probably be a disaster here, but and then I'm just going to get them even, so I'm folding both sides together of those outer edges, and then we're just going to cut out those little branches so that so it kind of looks like a Christmas tree. And then I'm going to go to my little bullet and gem stash, and let me see here. Get this cut out. I don't have too much talking. Like so. Finding that hard to see. Okay, here we go. And if you're not good at this, you can always find a Christmas tree template, just a basic kids coloring book tree, and just use that as a guide. I don't really even know what this is going to look like, but give it our best shot here. Why not? Courage is about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Okay, so, and then if you want to make those little branches stand out a little bit more, You could always, well, let's do it. We can just take a little bit of distress. Now this is frayed burlap. You might want to do brown just because it's, oops, brown paper, or red or green or something. I'm not going to heavily distress that. I just want to have a little defined edge there. We'll go along the bottom. It's an overcast day here today. So I'm thankful that we've had very little snow here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And if I had my wish, oh, there's Chester. If I had my wish, it would be that way all winter, but I would be asking for almost the impossible. Hi, Chester. Here's me talking, and he has to come in and contribute to the conversation. Okay, so we've just stressed that a little bit. And then I want to put that in my book somewhere towards... I've got a bunch of pictures that I want to add at some point of there's my parents. And I'm kind of thinking that this might go well here. Then I can still journal around it, and I can still have it there. I'm thinking that might be a good spot, and it's not too bulky, whereas this on this side. So I think that's going to be the best place for it. But before I do that, I just want to take my bone folder, really press down those edges. And then, of course, when we want to look in the inside, we just unfold the flaps. And we can have another little spot to put a photo, and we can even just put a little panel here that we can write on. We can write on there. If you want it more writing space, just flip it around. Now, I've already gone ahead and taken a brad. So I'm going to put a brad right about here. I think that's going there now because I've already stuck it in. Oops. And I've taken a bit of string. This is just metallic thread that I think I got that at Michael's. And I'm just taking a brad, and I'm going to open that up for there. And I took a little bit of nail polish just because it's so fine to kind of adhere it a little bit in the back. And I'm going to have a little closure. Now, what I also did to kind of I cut this, it's so fine. That's good enough. What I also did to mask this little closure a little bit. So this is going to go behind the tree, like such. So I'll probably glue it like that. And then it's going to come around, and you're going to wrap it around the little brad, and that's going to be like a closure. That's my idea anyway. I should have pushed that maybe. I didn't. The other thing, what we can do is kind of add this as tinsel, except we can't really go across the other side, or you won't be able to open it. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. But if you've been watching me, I use these little rivets a lot, and you can get gold and silver. I get them at the dollar store. But you can also take a marker, and you can make them any color you want. So my brad, I tried to find a wee little brad that I had so that I could use some of these as little ornaments on my tree. And therefore, the brad that's there won't really look out of place. So I thought I would use the the silver and to kind of add a little brightness, to add a little bling to, oops, there it is. I find those really hard. I've got to use these. Okay, to add a little bling, a little sparkle, a little brightness, I guess, to my tree, so they look like little ornaments. And we'll just randomly stick a few around. Cute, cute, cute. Oops. The thing with these is they're actually on a long adhesive strand. So if you want to get single ones, you've just got to cut them so that you can get one at a time. And I want another red one down there. Oops. And then I also lose half of them because they ping all over the place. Okay, and then some gold ones. And that little brad, you can't really, it doesn't really stand out as being a brad because it looks, to me anyway, it looks similar to the other little rivets. Now you can surely add a lot more to bling this up. You could have added some tinsel and all kinds of stuff, but this was, I didn't want to make this video way long. So you can certainly add things to that. But I kind of think that's kind of cute. You can't really, kind of picks it up a bit. And then when we get this down, I need to leave room for it to open, like so. So I guess I need this to go along there. Or I could have put a brad on the other side too. Wrap that around there. And by putting a brad on the other side, that's what I'm going to do. Instead of wrapping it around the back, I'm going to have to move this bullet, ribbit, and I think I'll put that just up here, I guess. And then I need to go to my brads, which are, those aren't the ones. Which are in here. Oh, I guess they were the ones. Down here in the corner. I could have added green too, but I didn't want to use all the brads just for decoration. And I could have taken these and colored some green or yellow or blue or whatever color you want to. But what I'm going to do here is put one. So going back to the balance prompt, so it looks a little bit balanced on the other side. And the reason I use a brad is because there's a post there, as opposed to obviously the bullets that are adhered straight to the paper. There we go. Okay, and then we can just take our gold string and wrap it round. And if it pops up a little bit, that's fine. Just for decoration mainly. Makes it look like a little secret spot. And it is a little bit, no, I think it fits exactly there. So I'm going to put it right about there, and then I can always add washi around it. I also like to use doilies. So I could put a doily behind there, and that kind of matches my themes a little bit. You could also just put the center down and use it as tuck spot. That's what I might do. Make sure that that's adhered down to my surface really well. I'm going to use some score tape. Like so, just down the middle. And if you have an idea, just try it out. Sometimes I used to be afraid of doing stuff, thinking, oh gosh, what if it doesn't turn out perfect? Or what if? If you really think it might ruin your page and you'll hate it forever and never get over it, then obviously don't do it. But in most of my crafting, there are still things I look back at that I've done and I think, oh yuck, I shouldn't have really done it that way. But it's all live and learn, to be honest. Okay. So with this, I can leave it like that and have some tuck spots, or I can adhere that to the page. I wish I was going to buy some red ones this year. I thought I did. Definitely on my list for next year. I have like pastel doilies, but I just don't have any sort of rich reds and greens for Christmas. Okay, I'll put that down. And I just want to make sure that's good and dry before I stick this down. But what I'll do is I'll just put, okay, so let's try to center that so we have a bit of balance. Okay, and even though it pops up some, if you don't like that, you could always well, we could figure it out. You could put a magnet or Velcro or whatever you like, but I don't care if it pops up. It's going to close when my book closes, so. But I do like that little latch there. Or what you could do is just put some, last year for Christmas, the girls gave me, which I'll probably use for a long time, some wee little paper clips. And that will allow you to have some extra interest in dimension. I love using paper clips and hardware in my journaling. So you can always, just at the bottom, like there, oops, use little paper clips, like so. And then that still allows you to have a tuck spot and a journal spot, a little secret spot, like so. Yeah, that's cute. Love, love, love those little tiny paper clips. Okay, and then, so there's your fold. To unfold it, you would just take your hardware off, and then you'd probably need to, if this is going to be a tuck, obviously it would fall off because we haven't secured it at the bottom, but I still want a little spot for my paper clip. So I guess I'll take it from here and glue that down. So I still have a little spot where I can put my paper clip. And the same here. I'm going to move my paper clip really out to the edge. Right out there. And then I can glue it down there. Okay, and then that will allow me to have a little tuck spot in there. Like so. Actually, that's too wide. You'd want something more like a tag like that. So you can have a little tuck spot for some tags or something. Something there. And then when that opens up, you have a place to journal. So we'll go take those out. We have a little journal spot here. I don't really care that you can see the blad. We have a journal spot there. And then to open it up, you have your inside there where you can put whatever. Now, if this was more, if it was neutral, if it was just brown paper, you'd have all sides to decorate. For here, we can just put a little panel here where you could write a little note if you want. If you wanted to put a photo here in the center and then have the little sides to write about your photo, that would work. Okay, so that's the next project. So I'm going to go away. There's a few more things I want to get organized for. Actually, I think I'll stop there because I think I might make a second video today. But before we go, I did want to, I had some happy mail, which I'm just over the moon. The mail in Canada was on strike for a while, and it finally came through, so I was getting some things in the mail. And I just want to find well, here. So Lynn, thank you so much. Lynn, my buddy from New Zealand, she was one of the first people that actually emailed me. So she has written a lovely letter. So this is going to actually go in my journal. And I love that I have some New Zealand stamps. So I think that's just awesome. And also these, I just love these little, I've got some little porcelain buttons. There's a little wooden button. Oh, they're wooden. And so I got some little buttons and these little antique tree charms. Aren't they just gorgeous? Absolutely love them. So thank you so much, Lynn, for thinking about me. And I'm thinking about you. Sometimes you just meet people. I've just been meeting people on this channel that have become like kindred spirits in my heart, and it's just hard to believe that can happen on channel. And then I had another big parcel from Joy Bells, which was wrapped in this lovely paper that I am going to use. Her card is so lovely, and this was made by Kay, and Kay is a subscriber to my channel, but she also has Etsy and YouTube, and it's called Papercraft with Kay. So check her out because she just has some beautiful cards and other crafts. So thanks, Kay and Joy, for that. But what I received from Joy, which was wrapped also in this Australian newspaper, which I'm keeping for crafting. It's always interesting to have papers and stuff from somewhere else. So this was, oh my, I never even saw that. This was wrapped, or this was, the paper she used was from November 13th, and that's my mother's birthday. Wow. Gosh. That's just sent some little shiveries down my spine. Anyways, but Joy has a farm, and I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. But she does have a farm market, and she does sell online. And her shop, and I think it's Tathra. I think that's how you say it, Tathra Homestead. She's on Facebook and Instagram as well at Tathra Homestead. And they make dukkha, which I never heard of until Joy was telling me about this. So if you're not familiar with dukkha, check out her shop or check that out. But what dukkha can be used for is it can be used as a snack. It can be used for crumbing, like on your chicken or meat. It can be used for breakfast as a seasoning. And it's made from nuts and spices. And it was so interesting because as of February the 1st, I'm starting Whole30. And on Whole30, you're cutting out everything but whole foods. So your proteins, you can't have any grains, so no breads at all. You can have nuts, no dairy. And when I saw this, it was the day I was sort of starting to plan stuff. And wow, this was like a godsend because I definitely can use the dukkha with vegetables. And she also grows her own olives. And I've just started an olive oil kick. So, wow. And then her own chutney. I just feel very blessed. So thank you so much, Joy, for thinking about me. I will link her and Kay's information in my playlist in the description box below. But the last thing I wanted to mention, and I'm not sure if any of you are interested, but I just thought that I would pop on here as this is sort of my journaling spot, is I'm starting a new journal for February. I actually bought this one thinking I would use it for the Marguerite Miller and then decided against it. And I did get this journal on Amazon, and it came with markers and stencils, just a whole ream of stuff, which I felt was really value for money. But I'm going to be starting to do sort of like a February daily coming up, and I'm just planning and kind of organizing my book. So if it's something that you would be interested in me to hop on every now and again just to do a layout, this is going to be a doodle page, and this is sort of self-care for me. And then I have sort of a waterfall pages. This is going to be my habit tracker and my challenge for the whole 30. So I want to do it for 30 days, marking off the days as I go. How I'm feeling each week, my health, my arthritis and stuff, which is why I decided to do the whole 30. It's more of an elimination diet. But how am I feeling week 1, 2, 3, 4? I'm still in the midst of designing that. And then how I'm going to start doing my daily, using stickers and, just things to decorate my page, but as well as a journal spot. And I have kind of things marked out for some ideas. If that's something you guys think you'd be interested in me hopping on, sharing a little bit of that, just let me know in the comments below. But until we meet again, I do hope you stay safe and well, and I just cherish each and every one of you. So thanks again for watching and supporting me. But bye for now.